Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to week 2 of Contest of Speed Season 4. We're live from Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix for the European Tier 3 race. My name is Dan. I will be your commentator this evening. Sat alongside me in the now infamous duo, it's Matt.
Yeah!
Woo! We're back. And everyone in the chat, if there is anybody in the chat yet. Is there anyone in the chat yet? Let's have a look. I'm not sure there is. Oh yeah, there are. There's 7 people. There we go. All of you, Matt needs cheering up. He's just experienced a very difficult evening with the football.
Can we just go past this already?
So if you want to put some encouraging words for Matt in the chat, we'll both be very grateful.
But you know it's not going to be encouraging. Just know it is. I know what these people are like.
No, they're nice. Tier 3 audience are nice. Let's see, who have we got already? Cookie's in straight away. We're sad you're not racing as well, Cookie. I've got quips all lined up for you. See, Cookie's already there supporting you. Look, he says Arsenal are... I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose monetization on this, but Arsenal are bad.
Yep.
And he's an Arsenal fan, so he knows what you're going through, and he says to stay strong, mate.
Okay. Thank you, Cookie. Before I have a mental breakdown, just 90 minutes is never going to get back in my life.
Pure Blades with the weather update. Rain expected in 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
How about the race? We want to know about the race. Are we going to see a wet one?
The race is the important one. We'll find out soon enough. So, a little bit of housekeeping. Cookie is the only man away for this week. So we have 19, yeah, indeed, sad times. We have 19 drivers on the grid, as you can see from the left-hand side of your screens. Manirik is the first man to set a time. He's on the soft tyre. Strategy-wise, we're probably looking at soft to hard being the safe option, pitting around lap 7, lap 8. Undercut maybe on lap 6. There is a 2-stop option of soft, medium, medium, or soft, medium, soft, depending on how good you are on the soft tyres. Although that strategy could be a little bit slower.
That's interesting.
What's that?
Thomas was slightly getting held up on his start of his lap. That was. And it's like Williams was being very nice and giving him a significant toe down the start-finish straight.
You never know. Got a couple of people appearing in the chat. Claudio's here. Evening, Claudio. Fresh off his podium from America's Tier 1 on Thursday.
Ducks seem to be the guys going to be first across the line.
The 2 Toro Rossos were on board with Manirik at the moment. He's coming around the final corner. He'll punch it for the line and set the opening bout of a 1:31.3.
A good banker.
A good banker indeed. We're expecting pole, especially if it's going to rain. I would expect pole to be the mid to high 1 minute 30s. If someone can pull out a really quick lap and get into the low 30s or even the 29s, then they're almost guaranteed it, I think. But we'll see how we go. The Camping Ducks now takes the lead with the 31 flat. Let's jump across to Team Stumpchi, as they are now, as they like to call themselves. Titchy goes second, 1:31 flat, 3,000th behind the Camping Ducks. And the other member of that duo is in the pits. That's Stumpy. He's not very confident. This track seems to divide people, Matt. I don't know about you, but personally I don't like the circuit, but I always seem to be relatively quick here.
I think it goes along the lines of the conversation you and me and Dan had earlier. when we were doing our practice session. It's very much a rhythm track. I think it's very easy to lose time because there's different lines round a good 4 or 5 of the corners, and it's all about getting that consistency. So it's going to be interesting because there's going to be quite a fluctuation in pace.
Yeah, there are. So one mistake around one corner on a qualifying run after you bank a lap, and that's pretty much that lap wasted. So
yeah, it's added pressure as well with that forecast rain coming towards the end of the session. So we need to get laps done early.
Certainly do. We've seen Bossman at W11 going to P9, 132.9 on the medium tyre. And Thomas goes fastest, 30.3. That's the first really competitive time.
Speaking of Thomas, part of the housekeeping. Obviously with the new system, for those that don't know, the powers that be, please don't kill me, have this season introduced grid penalties, as well as obviously the still penalty points that you get on your COS driving licence. So grid penalties are more, well, I say your more favourable type of just the seconds.
It's more the fact the specific penalties do have their own specific punishments, so the seconds and the penalty points will still stay. Where we're going to use grid penalties are for qualifying infringements like blocking, or we're going to use them in place of massive time penalties. So if someone, Thomas for instance, by the old rules would have incurred something like a 40-second time penalty for his infringements last time out. So instead of that, which would have just been ridiculously unfair on him, we've given him a 10-place grid penalty for this time out, and the penalty points on his licence to match. But the grid penalties are for where either time penalties are inappropriate or where they would make no difference. So if, for example, someone gets a 5-second penalty but they win the race by 30 seconds by spinning someone out, then that's obviously, it's not going to affect them. So giving them a grid penalty might just be a way of actually imposing some sort of justice for an otherwise negated action.
So, as we discussed, Thomas has got 10-place grid penalty for, well, let's say briefly, multiple incidents in Australia.
Yes.
Raycon got 5.
He got 5 for blocking the camping docks, and the other one is Justin for a collision with Tichy on lap 1. Justin right now out on the medium tyre. The one interesting time I'm seeing right now is Raycon, P9 on the hard tyre. If he can hold that, he's in a great position.
Have we got any inside information from anyone saying it's going to rain in?
No, it's a dry race, full dry race. It's just a wet end to qualifying.
I mean, I would love to know, but my stream I'm running just keeps crashing. Probably just my internet, wouldn't surprise me.
Excuse me everybody if I do start coughing. I mean, I'm still getting over this cold. I don't know why.
Stop
I have no symptoms other than the cough. I don't know why, I just can't get rid of it. And it's very annoying. Justin jumps to P6. He is now the fastest of the medium tyre runners.
Indeed. And for those bright sparks among you, you would have realised we're not actually in the right place for round 2 of a normal championship.
No, we're not.
So for anyone that missed last week, my little introduction that we did during qualifying, it is a randomised race calendar for this season.
It is.
Another new feature.
Just to spice things up a bit, make it a little bit less predictable. give us some good back-to-back races rather than having back-to-back ones that tend to just be dull and boring and so that's the technical term, either meh or so hopefully they'll work out. Next week is Monza.
Lovely.
Just to put in your diaries. So the Italian Grand Prix, so it should be a very overtaking packed race next time out.
As Menard improved, the second man into the 130s.
Let's go. We've got a yellow in sector 3. I would imagine that's someone getting out of the way.
Tennis Freak getting out of the way while the Alfa Romeos, and that is Ticci. So Ticci's just finishing his lap. Last corner. Good drive, runs out of ERS. That's kind of expected.
Crosses the line and joins them in the 1 minute 30s. Conal as well jumps up to P6, 1:31.5.
Had an action-packed race last time out.
He did, yes.
That's putting it lightly, I think.
So just on board with KV as he comes towards the end of sector 1. There is the Alfa Romeo of Ticci ahead of him, who gets out of the way well. KV currently sat on the bubble in P10. He's going for a second lap on the medium tyre. Or is it his first lap? I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I think... Oh, it's not quite here yet. I thought it had... I saw some spits and spots, but there's not quite yet.
I think the guys who are on their outlaps at the moment might be the last ones to get a flying lap in. KV currently 4/10 up on his previous best, so he's looking at 31.9, which would put him up. It would only put him up to P9, but on the medium tyre, which could be an advantage. Who was that? Who's just improved? Redcon up to P8, I believe. Oh no, Bossman in P4. It was Bossman to P4. The 31 flat.
Tennis Freak is ragging the living daylights out of that Red Bull.
Jump back to him in a minute. KV coming around the final corner. Pushes for the line. Oh, he's gone in. KV 31.6. Puts himself back into the top 10. If he's lucky, he might get another run on the soft tyre if he wants to try it, but I'm not sure he's going to before the rain comes.
I mean, if it's overcast conditions for the race, it's actually going to help these guys. Left front is going to be an issue.
Yeah, left front temperatures are the limiting factor. I do like the cold temperatures, Roland. I do. I love snow and cold and things. I know I'm weird with that, but I do. Dan Hilton we're on board with. Crumbs across the line, improves by 1.1 seconds to put himself into P13.
On board with Rosa Sky, who's setting their first lap of the session, leaving it late.
I was going to say, he's on the mediums as well.
So is Stumpy.
Is he on the mediums?
Stumpy's
no, he's on the softs. Stumpy's obviously going for a one-shot. Rosa as well. He won't be able to come back in and get another run out unless he boxes now.
52.3, so he's going to be around 131 flat region.
I think so. It should be a good enough result for him, but...
I've seen everyone's telemetry.
Yeah, the skies are darkening, the rain isn't far away. "25 live viewers, thank you all for being here. Your presence is much appreciated. Actually...
Rain is here, rain is here.
Rain is here. Yep, you can see it just coming over the top of the halo.
Sky, there we go.
30.2, good man. And that's perfect timing. Yeah, perfect timing as well. I don't think... Is there anyone else out there who can beat that? I don't think there is, you know. Not now the rain's coming down. He's timed that to perfection. And that's that's both incredible and massively irritating at the same time. Just because I could never do that.
Justin's up by half a second, but he's now in the last sector and it's starting to take effect.
Yeah, it'll just start to come back at him. He is on the soft tyre. A bit of a lock up, but he should have enough to punch for the line. He might improve still.
Yeah, he does.
He does. P7. I think the last man who might get it is the Camping Docks. And Rick as well. They're both. Well, Rick's on his out lap.
Camping Ducks is over a second down.
Yeah, he's bailed out of it. I think he's trying to help Rick get around the lap, but it's too late. I think there's too much water coming down. Let's make sure it's still raining. Yeah. Who else is out on track right now? Sygate in the Mercedes had a quiet session so far. He's currently half a second up, just about, through sector 1. He's now 7/10 up at the end of sector 2. He is out on the soft tyre.
I'm making sure no one's cutting the chicane. As we've had previous.
We have had previous. All the drivers have been warned. Do not cut the corners. Do not exceed track limits.
Oh, you'll be killed.
You won't be killed. It's permanent as well, you know, we need them back. There will be... Well, if it occurs in race conditions, there will be disqualification from the race. And that's blanket. If it occurs in qualifying, then there will be essentially a qualifying ban, so a 20 place grid penalty for Monza. I think it's 20, I said it. It might be 10, one or the other. I can't remember my own punishment now. I set it as well.
Well, this is all because it happened last year, actually, in Tier 2, didn't it, round here?
It did, yeah.
That's why that kind of rule was introduced, to stop people basically straight lining the chicane for the sake of it. Right, Stumpy. Does a 1:31.7, so not a bad lap time considering the rain has now pretty much decided to stay.
And he's not been confident at all coming into this.
No, but that's still solid.
Yeah, it's put him in a good position. Sygate's backed out of his lap. It's too wet, I think. Either that or he's invalidated. He might still have time to get round and try again, but I don't think he's gonna. No, he's getting out of the way of other guys.
We can't tell when the crossover point's probably happened, but I reckon it's either soon or it has done so already.
Yeah, I think it's happened. I think the guys who are out right now aren't going to be setting any quick times. We'll ride on board with Thomas and just see, but...
The guys are going to be happy. Oh, I would say Raycon.
Raycon will be happy. KV, I think, will be ecstatic if he can stay there. There's still...
I mean, don't forget, those guys have both done it on mediums, so... We reckon what? If they put on the softs, they're going to be looking around...
A second quicker.
Yeah, the Rick Titchy kind of...
Yeah, that sort of area. There's also... I think I'm looking at it now, there's also the matter of the strategy, because there's a lot of guys there on the soft tyres. Conal's put 2 laps on those. I mean, how many of those guys are going to do a 2-stop? And how many are going to do a 1-stop to Hearts? And then the same for KV and Raycon. Well, Raycon in particular, is he going to stop straight to Hearts, or is he going to 2-stop from there? If I was him, I'd 1-stop to Hearts on around lap 11.
It's interesting. I think it's one of these races that we've got this year that just we're not sure what the best strategy is.
No, I think it'll come down to the driver and how good they are on their tyres, because the difference between us, for example, you're suffering with front left tyre temperatures on all 3 compounds, whereas I'm not on the hard tyres.
Well, don't just blow my information that just to the general public.
Well, no, but it's set up things, isn't it? It's set up differences. They're easy enough to tweak. But I think each driver will have a preferred setup that they're running. But as qualifying comes to an end, we're waiting for Bossman to retire in the pits. There we go. Rosa Sky takes pole position for McLaren. Thomas is second on the timesheets, but he will drop to P12, which will promote KV up. And it will also promote Stumpy as well to P11.
Yep. KV's going to have free choice.
I imagine so. I'm not entirely sure whether Thomas will or not. I don't think he will, if it follows the official rules, but we'll wait and see. So you can see Rosa Sky won with pole position with a time of 1 minute 30.251. Thomas in second, but with a 10 place penalty. Minerik promoted to second then. Tichy in third. Camping Docks behind him. Bossman, Justin, Tennis Freak, Conal and Raidcon are the top 10. So while we're waiting for these guys to get round... Who's left?
Blaze left the session just at the end of quality.
No! Hopefully he can get back in.
Actually, KV's going to be 8th.
Oh, with Raycon's penalty, yeah. And Justin, yeah. Oh, good point. Yeah, he is. A lot of guys getting promoted. We'll see how it all pans out. Oh, spectator limit reached. There we go. How fun to have this back.
No.
Whilst we're waiting to get back in and see what's going on, I just want to explain to everybody watching at home. Contest of Speed recently has taken a step and joined the Twitch partnership program, so we are now a monetized channel, if you like. So you can send bits to us. There will be emotes popping up at some point soon. You can donate to us, subscribe to us, whatever you want to do, and all support will be greatly appreciated. As much as we want you to do that, we are not forcing you to in the slightest. Is he back in, Matt? Is he alright?
I believe so. Just give me a second. Where is he? Where is he? Yes.
He's in, yeah?
He's in.
Right. Can you...
There is movement.
Excellent. Can you back out for me, because it's not letting me join back on just yet.
Sad times.
Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Did you see who was first to press X as well?
It was, I think it was Conal. It was between him and Thomas. Oh, okay, come on.
Okay.
That's right, I have I've saved footage, so...
Alright, we're back in. On the formation lap, Rosa leads them away. Let's have a look at the tyres choices. So, KV and Stumpy, both on medium tyres.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, the only two who aren't, Thomas and Justin on the soft tyres, but those will be the ones they qualified on. The front 7, so Rosa, Rick, Tichy, Camping Docks, Bossman, Tennis Freak, Conal, are all on soft tyres. Everybody else is on mediums.
Do you know what the other interesting thing is? I can't rejoin the session now.
No?
Nope.
Just hang fire a second, because I think Blade said he can't take control of his car until after lights out, so he's still a spectator at the minute.
I'm not going to join back, don't you worry.
If not, this could be an interesting evening.
So I'll just make comments like a minute out and you can all just slag me off.
As long as you're not calling Racing Point Force India, I think everyone will be fine.
Well, you know, I'll just call Alfa Romeo Sauber. Just Sauber by itself.
Needs must. So, cars line up on the grid. We await the start. 3, 4, 5 lights. Away they go for the French Grand Prix. It looks like a great start from Rosa and from Rick as well. But he's going to have to tuck in behind the McLaren as they head down towards turn 1. Have we got anybody going around anywhere? I think we're all through cleanly. Somehow we're all through clean. And Rick is challenging Rosa for P1, and I think he's got him. He has. Indeed he has. The Toro Rosso takes the lead with his teammate tucking in behind the McLaren. Tennis Freak with a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place. If that's unfair, he'll be able to get that back and taken off his time. We'll wait and see. Still the battle for the lead goes on. Rosa might have a look down to into the chicane on Rick. He sticks the nose in, but not quite close enough to make the move. Tennis Freak and Conal are battling as well. Bossman wants to get in on the action. Little bit of contact between the three. It's a drag race down to turn 10. The two Ferraris have lost out. Oh no, Fredo's actually done quite well. He's up 4 places. KV, however, is down 3, but oh, hang on, there's a car just gone off wide there, I think. Unless that's just a piece of bodywork.
I'll be able to confirm in a minute when I catch up to the stream.
I think it's the front wing of Conal. The right front.
Possibly. Oh, there's a car gone. Yeah. Yeah, it is front wing, right front.
Front wing. See if you can chime back, mate.
I can't. There's no way.
No! Pure Blades is in the pits. And I think this is for a front wing. Indeed it is. The other Haas with wing damage as well. And he's going for the hard tyres. So he might be able to make it to the end. There we go, Matt's in. Meanwhile, let's get back up to the battle for the lead. Rosa closing in on Rick again, down towards the chicane. He's not caught quite enough on the brakes, but Rick runs wide. And Rosa will have the run, surely, to take pole. Pole take first place back.
Jeez, we're back, Polly, come on.
Into turn 10, side by side. Rick's going to hold it. He's going to hold on. Great battling and great respect from these two. Camping Docs sat in 3rd place, sitting pretty, waiting for these two to burn their tyres out, use their ERS.
Tell you what, there is an amazing battle from 13th down to 18th. Oh no, Millsy's gone into the back of Stonewall Seth. Stonewall Seth already has front wing damage beforehand, and now they've both got front wing damage. So
they have. Rosa Scow with the fastest lap of the race, quickly beaten by Thomas, who's had a lightning start from P12 up to P4.
Cavy's made a mistake somewhere. He lost 2 positions in one corner.
I think he was caught up in that Millsies and Stonewall Seth coming together.
No, he was ahead of him.
Oh, big damage on the McLaren. Went into the back of Rick there.
Oh, pure Blades is round again.
Camping Docs is round.
Camping Docs is in the wall. Got to be careful.
And it's wing damage on the Toro Rosso. It wasn't the McLaren.
Here we go. Cavy's going to make the most of it.
He'll look to, but there's massive wing damage on that Toro Rosso. He's going to have to stop. And that'll be for hard tyres.
Down the inside, defending hard against Justin. Justin goes around the outside. Side by side.
Takes the place. Rocco's going to line up the Williams next.
Come on, Sygate. Sygate goes through.
Yes, are we seeing... I know there is wing damage still on that Haas, but are we seeing now the crossover?
I think for Kona it's more significant because don't forget he did 2 laps.
In qualifying, yeah, good point, yeah.
So his window's probably going to be lap 5, I reckon. And everyone else is probably looking for about 7 or 8 on those soft tyres.
We'll wait and see. Oh, Thomas has got past Rosa into turn 1. Around the outside as well, great move.
Rosa's still there though.
He is.
Just about, not quite.
I'm trying to see, is there wing damage on that McLaren? I don't think there is. But he's lost quite a lot of ground, and I know Thomas is quick. There's no doubt about that, but
possibly. Oh, I need to have another look. Maybe an M plate. I can't really tell.
No, I think both.
Tichy's round.
Tichy's round, not second race in a row for the Alpha.
It's a weird place to lose it.
And I think there's wing damage as well.
Yeah, there's more than wing damage. There is more than wing damage on that car.
And he's forced to go through.
Justin gets past Pure Blades. So 5 guys already made 1 stop. And pretty much all of them other than Pure Blades will have to stop again and maybe stun himself. And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So we've got a great battle for the lead going on now. We've got 4 guys in it.
KV's gone up another position.
KV's doing the job well. P9 right now. Rosa all over the back of Thomas. DRS is active, but Thomas has it off Rick as well. In fact, he might go for a move into turn 1 again. He's on the inside, and he takes the lead.
A battle for 6th and 7th. Stumpy looking to go around the outside and then the inside for turn 2. Ray Consul, so there he's got to be careful not to get pinched. It's very close between these 3. Oh, Raycon nearly runs into the back of him. It means KV's now behind. KV
is now prowling as well. Let's have a look at the tyres. Sygate, Stumpy probably in the best position in terms of tyres. Raycon and KV need to clear Conal if they want to stick with those guys. And they'll need to in terms of their battle for the lead. They are still under the shout. He's pitted for hard tyres. He's going for the undercut essentially. I think he's his only choice at this point. Sygate now looking to bridge the gap to the leading group. And he's not doing a bad job of it. He's left Stumpy behind. And Stumpy, to be fair, considering he's not, as we see KV go around Raycon, yeah, and Conal looking weak on those tyres, but he's got the wing damage as well, of course.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in at this lap. Got to be careful, blind pit entry.
Tennis Freak is in. Tennis Freak's in, and so is Thomas.
Tennis Freak's also got 5 seconds of speed in the pit lane as well.
Thomas going on to medium tyres, so that's a 2-stop for him.
2-stop. Oh, he's getting held. He's got held.
Tennis Freak also on to medium, so 2-stop for him.
He got held in the pits because the Haas came in.
Conal also onto mediums with a new front wing, so that's a 2-stop for him. So Rosa and Rick now know.
Yeah, oh, look at that, just the dirty air.
Camping Docks for the fastest lap of the race after pitting for fresh softs.
Yep. So a lot of early damage. Half the field already pitting straight away.
Yeah.
Due to some kind of damage or tyre wear already.
Sygate meanwhile 1.1 now behind the leading group. Well, leading pair I should say. So Sygate right now is looking good. If he's going to stop for hard tyres, as long as he picks his time, he's looking good.
Raycon is in the back of KV. Okay, we got past the previous lap. Raid is looking to amend for his 5-second grid penalty that he got post-qualifying.
Yeah,
To climb back those bases.
KV as well now within DRS range of Stumpy. He'll be looking to clear the Alfa Romeo, get himself up and try and bridge that gap to Sygate, who is the de facto leader at this point.
Stonewall Seth got past Pure Blades and Pure Blades got past Stonewall Seth, so those two having a ding dong over 16th and 17th.
Rick and Bossman into the pits, leaving Rosa out front on his own, with Sygate now within DRS range. Rick goes for the hard tyre, so he's going for the undercut.
Yeah. Bossman's doing exactly the same. Rosa Sky's round.
He is.
Sygate got 5 seconds though for corner cutting.
That'll be to avoid him probably, which is fair enough. If he sends that in, he can get it taken off. No wing damage on the McLaren, so there's no contact with anybody. We'll check.
Interesting. He was completely off the track though, Rosa Sky. He was on the runoff. So.
I wonder if he's just clipped the curb on the entrance to turn 3 and it spun him round.
Penalties looking like an issue already.
Yeah, they are. But Sygate, look at the pace he's got. 1.3 clear of Rosa Sky now, and I know he's had that spin, but still, that's still impressive.
Kavian Raycon again. Now caught to the back of Stumpy. Stumpy up to third. We've got yellow flag sector 1 and 2. That looks like Pure Blades has had some kind of incident. I think because he's just got back up to speed.
We'll wait and see. Have a look at any potential damage. It doesn't have any, so.
Tichy ran the outside of the chicane. Ballsy move.
Takes Stonewall Seth. Good move from Tichy.
Rosa's in.
Rosa pits from second place. He will go onto the hard tyre, and that will take him to the end. So now, KV and Raidcon all over the back of Stumpy. And Sygate is loving this, he's just pulling away. So if Sygate was to pit now, he would come out in P8. Maybe P9 if Rick gets a good lap in this time round. But then all the guys in front of him, bar 1 or 2, have got to stop again. So Pure Blades has retired. I don't know where that is, because he's not in the pits, is he? Millsies has retired in the pits. Oh no, it was in the pits for Blades. Oh, I can imagine. I bet Cookie's having a worldie in there. Thomas has just made a double move on Rocco and Dan Hilton down into the chicane.
Pure Blades and Millsy gone out.
I'm gonna do a Thomas and a Jordan moment.
Yeah, sorry, I was too busy reading the comments. Allow me, Seth, please.
Are you tired, mate?
Yeah, I am actually.
I'm sorry, Jordan, if you're listening. KV's got ahead of Stumpy for second place.
Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to look at the race.
No, we'll check that at the end. Dan Hilton and Rocco having a ding dong for P7. I'm going to stick with this battle for second place.
I'm not going to try and work it out already.
KV.
Alright, Cookie, calm down.
KV looking to stretch his gap away in second place. Starting to close up to Sygate as well now. But he might come under pressure from Stumpy down into the chicane. This will be Stumpy's one chance to retake second. Raidcon outside of DRS, so he needs to try and close up as well. And Stumpy just uses it to recharge his battery. He knows that's not his fight. Jumping back down, Rick on the back of Rocco. This could be an easy move for P8. It's the inside of the chicane, under braking. Good move from Rick. Oh no, Rocco's hit the back of him.
And front wing damage on the racing point.
So close.
So close. I nearly said it. I was just like, don't say it. And then Remind myself of this.
Is that a puncture on the Toro Rosso, or am I... No, I'm seeing things.
You are seeing things.
It was just the way it was sat there. I think it's because it was going uphill. It just looked as though the back end was sat lower than the rest of the car. Thomas now on the back of Forza Fredo.
Sygate's made a mistake somewhere.
Well, it was down to 3.3 last time around, and KV is... Oh, let's be fair, KV's not losing Stumpy either, so I think you're right. I think either Sygate's just slow. Thomas looked for the move on Forza Fredo.
Has he burned the rubber too early?
He might have done. Fredo runs wide at turn 2, and that allows Thomas through.
Camping Ducks is in again, so you only give 5 laps on those soft tyres.
So he might go for mediums to the end here, but he'll have to look after them. We'll wait and see. Keep an eye on that graphic on the left. He's gone for the hard tyre, so that's pointless. That's pointless. He might as well have stopped the hards last time around. He's just cost himself 20 seconds.
8, 9 and 10th.
Rosa through, chasing down Rick.
Tennis freak round the outside, he's off the track. I can't see, it's the most useless camera angle ever, and he's got past.
But Rocco's not going to give this up, and he's going to have the tow. Tennis freak, I think, might have just given him that position back.
I wouldn't be surprised though.
No, he was off the track. But he's going to have him into turn 10. He's looking. He's slung it in. He's gone. He's done it. I think he's going to hold it through 11. He's done it. Raidcon and Stumpy have got ahead of KV, I think, and KV's in. So I wonder if there was contact there, because there was a yellow flag in sector 3, which is where they were at the time.
We'll find out.
KV is in for hard tyres on lap 11. Forza Fredo carrying on his mediums. He'll stop this time around, I'd imagine.
I'm trying to work out who's gained out of this. It's so difficult because obviously we've got so many guys on different strategies.
And KV comes out just behind Bossman's Racing Point, who will need to clear quickly in order to chase down Tennis Freak and Rosa.
Rocco's going to come out pretty much stone dead last. Come out stone dead last. So Rosa Sky on Dan Hilton, who hasn't stopped. Rosa Sky goes very wide off the track, but gets the move. Oh, cuts the chicane in contact. Not the cleanest you're going to have to see. But
Alex Albon gets away with it, so why can't he?
Yep, exactly.
Let's see, where's KV at the moment? He's closing in on Bossman, but not quite in a position to overtake. Raidcon on Stumpy hasn't happened yet, and Raidcon's coming into the pits.
Jay, it's the graphic, so you're seeing mediums, but the graphic is correct. It's a glitch they haven't fixed for God knows how long.
For years, isn't it? Yeah. Forza Fredo speeding in the pit lane. A 5-second penalty for him, and he's going to have a wing change as well.
Raikon is in and onto the hard tyre. Raycon's going to come into a lot of traffic.
Indeed he is, and the one I want to keep an eye out on is KV. Is he going to get ahead of Raidcon?
Yeah. No, he's not.
So he's lost out massively there then. Bossman runs wide and picks himself up a penalty. So at the minute, Thomas is going to have to stop again, as are Sygate and Stumpy. So
Dan
Rick,
Hilton's going to have to stop anyway.
yeah, Dan Hilton will have to stop again. Tennis Freak will have to stop again. So we're looking at Rick, Rosa, and Raidcon as your podium at the moment. Then Bossman will probably be able to go to the end. KV will. Thomas will come out around those two, I think. Maybe a little bit further back.
Go on the softs?
It depends how far he goes. If he can get himself In theory, he could get himself to lap
So Stumpy's
18.
just come in. He's done 11 laps on the medium.
If he goes for hards, he's wasted a couple of laps. He might as well have gone for the undercut.
Yep.
If he goes
he's
for,
got no choice. He can't go softs, can he? Really?
he could go softs twice.
He's gone hards.
He's gone hards. It's a shame. That's a waste.
Dan Hilton's also in the pit, and he's got 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Not the only one this evening for doing it, but you know.
KV still can't find a way past Bossman. Oh, and the Alpha needs to be careful coming out of the pits.
I don't want to have a look. Oh my god, he's so close to that P6.
They've somehow managed to keep it all together. Bossman lagging a little bit. That'll have given KV an instance to require new underwear.
KV needs to get past this racing point as quick as he can.
He's not going to do it this time around. He's going to have DRS show, but so's Bossman in front of him. It's going to be a double tow. And we'll stay on board and see if he can do it, but it's going to be a late lunge if he's going to try this. And this is not the best place to do it.
Verstappen send it.
Bossman with a poor chicane though. If KV gets a good exit, he might have a run up towards turn 11. No, you're pulling out too early, son. Keep him behind. Get the tow.
And then surprise. Now.
Yeah.
You could.
Go on. Switch back on him.
Someone went very wide there. Oh, yellow flag sector 2. It is.
Stonewall Seth.
Seth has not got any front wing somewhere.
No, I think he's alright actually. I think he's just. No, I think he's fine. I think he's just had a moment. He was battling with camping docks at the time, so I think he might have just. They might have just come together. And.
Oh, Bossman goes wide. KV's got the run out of the last corner.
DRS for both of them. KV has the outside,
which will then turn to the inside.
Well, but he might have to go for a switchback on Bossman here. Not quite. He might have a run into turn 3 though. He's going to go for the inside. Bossman holds it, but KV will have eventually what will be the inside line, and he takes P8. Is he? Is KV within DRS of Stumpy? That's the question, because otherwise Bossman's just going to take him back, I think.
No, he's not.
No.
1.2.
He's going to have to do some defending. That Ferrari.
It's going to have to be a late move.
Thinks better of it. KV might hold on to that position now, because he'll get within DRS of Stumpy. He's not been the quickest. Indeed, he has already, down to 8/10, so he should be able to hold on.
Cookie grandstand are erupting.
They're out in force. It's a good point from Cookie actually. Sygate's still out, so if he's going to go for medium to softs.
Brave.
Very brave. If that is the case, we'll be looking at him pitting no... Oh no, there's an Alpha round Stumpy!
I think Sygate stayed up too long. He's lost half a second in the first sector of this lap.
Yeah, Thomas has got to stop again anyway. But it depends what he stops for. I mean, Thomas can easily go. Thomas can easily go to softs from there. If he can get another 3 or 4 laps in. Sygate the same.
That's what I'm saying, he's really gaining time. By the time Sygate pits, Thomas is probably going to have a better, I don't know, better time.
Thomas is on for a podium here, because at the minute he's coming out around Raidcon, who is net 3rd.
Yes.
And Sygate as well. This could be a double Mercedes podium if they work this properly.
That's 1 second already.
The two of them are friends. I know they'll be chatting right now, working together.
Ooh, friends!
Ooh, race friends! Ooh!
Teammate friends! Anyway.
When we finish bullying people.
Yeah. Well, that's 1.2 seconds in one lap. So it's going to be a Mercedes showdown.
Certainly is. Who's going to blink first? If it's me, I'm bringing Seigert in first, and I'd bring him in
now.
No. You want to go one more? I wouldn't want to try more than 10 laps on the softs because they're only supposed to work for 11, and you're going to have to push. I know you've got less fuel on board, but even so, in an ideal world, I want to get to lap 18, but.
Just losing time hand over fist, that's the problem.
Stonewall Seth, half a second behind his teammate, who has just pitted again.
Yeah, Justin. He's having a strange race. I know we haven't seen it, but he's one of these guys we probably expected to be near the front, if we're honest, because of how how strong he finished.
Shut up, Blades. I'll get you kicked out of college.
Alright, go on, pick him up.
Thomas now 3.6 behind his teammate. It's not bullying, it's called blackmail. It's much worse. Thomas is in.
Okay, I didn't expect it to be that way around.
And he's going for mediums again. Safe bet from Thomas.
Is this guy just got okay?
This will allow him to undercut Seigert though.
Okay, I'm not really seeing the strategy, but it probably will pan out like most things do here.
He's come out just behind Raycon, so if he can get ahead of him, he's on for third place. Rick and Rosa are not massively up the road, and they are on old tyres, so
I think Thomas is on the back of the road.
Yeah, Thomas will have him here and set himself, and then he'll set off after Tennis Street. I want to jump back up to Seigert, who I would pit now if I was him. He knows Thomas isn't behind him anymore. They'll be talking, they know what's going on.
And he has got past Raycon.
Yeah, he's clear. Yeah, if I'm Seigert, I'm stopping now for softs.
Stumpy's finally caught back up to the back of the racing point.
And indeed he is. Seigert's coming in. Oh, and he gets the penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh. Right,
that could be costly.
She'll have a look.
I'll stay on board with Seigert. Into the pits. Soft tyres await. Oh, there's a 5-second penalty waiting for him.
Yeah, he's already got one.
Oh. Seigert's away. Rick takes the lead.
For, don't you? That's for his corner cutting.
Yeah.
Which may or may not have been corner cutting.
Thomas coming down the start-finish straight. Where's Seigert? He's not. Oh, he's way behind.
Tennis Freak's getting held in the pits as well. Oh my word.
Right, Seigert now will be the man on the move.
It's all about where he catches this traffic. He's under fuel as well, Danny.
He often is, to be fair. He is good at fuel saving.
Especially around a track where it's very fuel dependent.
That's true. Meanwhile, I want to go and have a look at Camping Docks on Tennis Freak.
It's interesting. I'm looking at the battle behind. 13th place is hotting up.
I'll jump back to that in a second.
Connell goes down the inside of Justin. Don't know if there was contact. Oh, there was contact. Justin's lost his front wing again. Oh, he's just not having.
No, he's having a race like I did last week.
And 3 seconds just to rub insult to him.
Still, Camping Docks unable to get past Tennis Freak, but Connell's made a move on Dan Hilton.
That was pretty much easy. Roger Sky's 2 seconds behind. Rick.
Cygate already within a second, just about, of KV. Not quite close enough to get DRS down the start-finish straight, but...
Thomas with the fastest lap.
Cygate will get it down the main straight, which will be his prime overtaking opportunity. So, Justin's in the pits again, and he's retired. I'm not surprised, to be honest.
I mean, the fact he kept it going, to be fair.
Yeah, I can understand why he's retired there.
I would have thrown in the towel.
Oh, Cygate on KV. And he's got him. That's a relatively easy move. I don't think KV fought him for it. So he could be a great points haul for Mercedes. Cygate is now already within DRS of Raycon as well. If KV plays his cards right here even, he might be able to use Cygate to close up to Raid and maybe even get past with him. Take advantage.
Speaking of men on the move, Tennis Freak is also a man on the move as well. Those fresh mediums.
He is looking to eye up Tichy into turn 10.
But no ERS though, he's down to 10%. It's gone down the inside. Good move. Good solid move by the Red Bull driver. Back up to the battle for fourth.
Battle for fourth. Cygate goes into turn 1 and he's brought KV with him. Those two aren't giving up, are they?
Raycon's having none of it.
He should have just let him go, because now KV's right on the back of the Red Bull. Cygate might be in trouble here. He might be able to get re-overtaken by Raycon. He's got no ERS to defend with, no fuel as we've already established. He's relying purely on those tyres.
There's a lot of guys, the top 6 are struggling for ERS, all of them. All pushing very hard. Thomas especially, he's down to 4%.
I want to keep watching KV because I think he could get Redcon here.
You say that, Raycon's not dropped off the back of Cygate either.
No. I think he will now through sector 3. Those soft tyres will really start to come into their own. Oh, he's gone wide. I thought KV might be able to just nip in there down the inside, but not quite enough room.
Have a quick look at the penalty situation out front. Will there be any effect? Rick is 1 away. Rosa is got 1 penalty, 2 warnings. Thomas is exactly the same.
Bossman is stopping for fresh tyres and I would assume a wing change. No, just stopping for softs. Didn't like the feel of the hards then.
I'm going to say his rate's got to go. He's got to go now.
I know Bossman does have wing damage, they just didn't change it.
Disaster. Tennis Freak gets past Fredo.
KV has DRS on Raidcon, this is his chance. Raid is outside of Cygate's range. Not close enough for KV.
It's not the end of the world for KV. KV has the penalty advantage.
And he will know that. He'll be keeping an eye. Forza Fredo maxing out that Ferrari.
Take down the inside, thinks about it, still there, still there. The corner tightens, opportunity goes. Thomas is 2 seconds behind Roger, who is 2 seconds behind Rick.
Indeed. All of these guys, all different strategies. 3 different ones at the moment.
I tell you what, Sygate's not really making the ground I thought he would.
No, well, to be honest, I think his tyres will have gone off by now. I think they'll have gone over the range.
In fact, he's losing time. So actually, that might bring the likes of Raycon and Kavy back into play again.
It could do. Well, those 2 guys will be able to go to the end without any sort of drop-off in performance from those tyres. They'll be going, what, 18 laps on them, which they'll easily be able to do. KV going for the move on Raycon down at the chicane this time. He's on the inside, but that will become the outside, and Raycon defends well.
KV gets a bit of traction.
He does. He's going to try it around the outside of Raid into turn 10. That's brave.
That's very brave.
No way. He's pulled that off. Great move from KV. What an overtake around the outside of turn 10.
Thomas is within 1 second, and actually Rosa Sky's just ever so slightly gaining a little bit. Rick out in front.
Yeah, Thomas I think will be through this time round into the chicane at turn 9. That'll give him 2nd place, and then he's got 5 laps, well 4.5 by the time we get there, to catch up to Rick, who he can see. I mean, it's a great recovery from Thomas, having a 10 place grid penalty, starting P12.
Yep.
And 2 stopping as well, I might add, and he is on for the win. It is an option.
I'm expecting it to be done.
Yeah, he's passed before the DRS even opens. Thomas up to 2nd. KV looks like he's going to be able to hold off Redcon as well.
Yeah, I think because of their battling, they've actually dropped off the back of Sygate.
There's 3 seconds is the gap.
Yeah.
Raid, I think he's going to drop off the back of KV by the time they come round to another DRS zone. So it's all down to whether KV can close the gap to the Mercedes.
There's a battle developing for P7, so that's between Stumpy and Tennis Freak. All Tennis Freak tried to do, KV did to Raycon. Thinks about it. Down the inside, thinks about it still. Just the angle of that corner just cuts them off. Got a battle for the last remaining spot.
Yeah, Tichy in the camping dogs. Fredo's got ahead of Tennis Freak.
Oh, Tennis Freak's got front wing damage.
That'll be why, and he's into the pits.
Those 2 have had a coming together. We've got Fredo, Camping Ducks, Tichy, and Bossman all merging together quite nicely.
And Tennis Freak's retired in the pits.
Gap up front, Danny. We've failed to notice that. It's under half a second.
Indeed it is. Thomas going for it. Running very low on ERS though.
So is Rick, to be fair. They're both very similar.
Could this bring Rosa back into play? KV now 2.5 seconds behind Sygate as well. We'll keep an eye on that one. Tichy in the camping docks battling for P9.
Don't forget Bossman, he's catching up with those soft tyres. He's made significant ground since he's pitted.
This could be a very interesting end. I think if Thomas gets through, it's his victory. And I don't see why he won't. Whether it'll be now or down into turn 9, I'm not sure.
I think he'll wait. Maybe not.
Maybe not. He's going for it into turn 1. Rick might look to get him back into turn 9. This might be an an interesting tactic from Rick. He's got a lot more ERS, relatively speaking. He's still not got that much than Thomas, but if he puts it in mode 4 with the DRS, he should be able to get back past him. He has a look, it's not enough.
Oh, just close.
And that, I think that's the win for Thomas, at least on track. Meanwhile, KV still holding at 2.4 to Cygate, so maybe his tyres are just starting to go off as well. Bossman within range of Tichy, but he's run very wide at turn 6.
Tichy's in the range of Camping Ducks, everyone. And Camping Ducks nearly in the range of Forza Freddo, and Freddo in the range of Stumpy, so everyone needs merging.
Yeah, all of these guys are in with a small chance at least of P7.
I know for a fact with this group, penalties will make a big difference.
Certainly will. Forza Freddo, we've got Rocco overtake Dan Hilton for P13.
Around the outside, good move from Rocco.
Oh, lock up from Stumpy, and that's Freddo looking down the inside. He's got a tap at the front, and the Ferrari's round.
Oh, Bossman's gone off as well. He's got front wing damage. Freddo's
and there's a 3-second penalty for Cygate as well. That could drop him back behind maybe Raidcon, depending on the penalty situation there.
I don't think it will do. It's going to drop him behind KV for sure. I don't think KV's picked up one yet. Curse of the commentator will mean he'll probably pick up one now, but you know.
Forza Freddo really unlucky there. Looking down the inside of Stumpy for P7, but the door just closed. Got a tap at the front, and round went the Ferrari. Rick just dropping back away from Thomas. What's the penalty situation between Rick and Thomas?
Rick and Thomas is on 1 penalty. Rick is 1 warning away.
So he's clean at the moment?
Yep.
Okay, so Rick currently will have the win after penalties.
Thomas needs to put out another second in the last lap. Here we go, 1 to go.
Can he do it?
We got a battle for 7th. Oh. Incredible.
Oh, and there's Rick's penalty. So now it's Thomas who's looking for the win.
Yeah, but Thomas has picked up 2 warnings already. So he's only 1 warning away from another penalty.
We'll stick with him.
He's
on his final lap.
On this lap.
Let's see what happens.
Gonna keep an eye on that battle for 7th.
If Thomas has asked Jeff what's going on behind him, he'll know. He just needs to keep it clean. He can finish 1,000th in front of Rick, and he'll keep the win. It's clean through it.
Oh, Cave's going to make a move for 4th here.
Cave's going to make the move for 4th. I'll jump back across in a minute, but I'm going to stick with the... Actually, no, sod it, I'll jump across now.
No, he's not going to think about doing it again. Oh, he's thinking about doing it again. Round the outside, surely not.
Not off turn 11. No,
oh,
no way. No way.
Cavey, stop it.
Get out. Oh, he's done it again. What a move. Now jump back to Thomas. Across the line. Rick comes across in 2nd. Rosa 3rd. KV has 4th place from Cygate.
At the moment, I think he will definitely get 4th still though. What a move. What a move.
Great overtake from KV. 4th place. Cygate will probably get 5 of those seconds removed, but it won't change his position. Raidcon gets P6. Camping Docks.
I'm expecting... Oh, I don't know, I think Camping Ducks is possibly going to lose out to One, if not both, at
I
least.
think both alphas. Yeah, Stumpy gets ahead, and Tichy gets ahead of both of them. Yeah, and maybe Forza Fredo. No, unserved penalty for Fredo. Otherwise, he would have got ahead of Camping Docks as well.
And Bossman has succeeded in what Ricky did.
And crashing at the line. Rocco comes across P13, but Dan Hilton jumps him. Stonewall Seth, the last man to finish, P15. Indeed he does, P14. There we have it, the podium is all set and done. Thomas takes the win, great comeback from P12. Rick finishes second and Rosa in third after starting on pole.
Now it's down to you guys for driver of the day.
Indeed it is.
Been sending votes in already.
A lot of them in are in already. It's between Thomas and KV by the look of things.
I mean, I wouldn't blame it for being KV with those two outrageous moves.
I was going to say, and to get himself P4 on the reverse strategy, I think he's done alright. So Matt, can you go through some little bits and pieces for me while I go and grab something quickly?
Yep.
Okay.
So for those of you at home, this what it means is Rick now leads the championship. Rosa Sky should jump into second after Justin's no scoring this week. I shall invite the people. So let's have the top three. Just trying to invite the peoples. Young Danny.
Invite the peoples.
I'll find them.
Isn't it just? Don't worry, Mitch, I'll send you a picture of that afterwards so I can have a look at the standings. So let me invite some of these guys in. We'll get the top three. And then we'll get in KV as well, as he's been voted driver of the day. Assuming KV's still online.
Just trying to do some maths.
Careful.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
So we want KV, Rick, Thomas, and then we want Rosa as well.
I believe Rick will be leading the championship by 3 points to Thomas and Rosa. So they'll have 36, 33, 30 points respectively in 2 races.
So,
Rick and Rosa both got 2 podium finishes from 2 races in exactly the same place.
Good start. So we'll get these guys in. We'll do some interviews. Just need to change my audio settings again because, you know, I like to prat about with things.
Check.
Any questions for the Podium 3 and KV? Get them into the chat now for us.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, it's there. Yeah, it's fine.
Yep, you guys can just make sure your audio's set to be shared. And we'll get started. We'll go with KV first. And do you know what? That's the first place to start. Those 2 overtakes around the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought, you know what, full send, and I thought I had the grip as well, so. But yeah, it wasn't my greatest race, starting on the mediums as well. I did kind of regret not starting the softs, but I just felt personally, for me, I thought medium hard would be a good way to go around. Fortunately spun twice as well, which really didn't help, and you know, could have been fighting for a podium, but it wasn't to be, so but yeah, not a bad race overall.
No, I'd say it's a good result.
Yeah, but also as well, unfortunately I'm missing the home race next week as well, so so I'm trying to keep up as many points as I can. So yeah, I'm going on a little golf holiday for a few days. So,
Oh, it's alright
yeah.
for some, isn't it?
Yes.
Grief.
Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations. P4 is a good result, mate. Might not feel like it right now, but it really is. It's a good. You did a good job. You were also voted driver of the day as well for those 2 overtakes.
Thank you very much.
So nice one. Congratulations, and we'll see you at round 4, which I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Russia?
I think so, yeah, it might be Russia. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see you there. Next one. P3, Rosa.
Hello.
Guess what the chat was full of?
I've got a feeling he's on a speaker with me right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I want to say it was supportive encouragement, but it just sounded like hurling of abuse.
Yeah. I'll have to watch it back in a minute. But yeah. Got a feeling.
I'm sweating.
Yeah. So what happened at the start there for you, Rosa? Was it just... Did your tyres just go off quicker than the other guys? So you seem to stick with them to begin with and then fall off later in the stint.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit nervous being on pole, I'm not gonna lie. And fair play to Maverick. I think he left me loads of room when we were battling. But once I think someone touched me in the back or something, after that I just couldn't get back on DRS. And once I got out of that DRS around here, I think it made me... I suffered a bit, but yeah. After that, and then I just went on to hards. I wanted to start on the mediums, but yeah, went on to hards and just went from there. Couldn't catch Maverick, too fast.
Fair enough. So, congratulations on P3. Hopefully we'll see you next week at Monza.
Yeah, we'll do.
Alright. Rick, Thomas, I know that neither of you rate your English, even though it's infinitely better than both mine and Matt's Dutch, but if you want to talk about your race in Dutch, then feel free. There's plenty of Dutch guys in the league, so don't feel like it has to be in English. Rick, we'll come to you first. Just talk us through your race. It looked like it was, relatively speaking, uneventful after you managed to get ahead of Rosa.
Ja, het was... Ja, ik praat even Nederlands hoor. Ja, het was echt een zware race, joh. Ik wist... op het begin had ik echt moeite met mijn banden. Ik kon ze niet goed op temperatuur krijgen. En uiteindelijk, ja, ik had toen wel een goed raceritme. Geen penalties. Toen dacht ik, nou, ik ga die laatste lap ga ik hard pushen, maar dan kreeg ik uiteindelijk toch nog een penalty. Dus ja. Maar voor de rest, ja, Thomas, gefeliciteerd.
Ja, mij ook.
Yeah, it was a shame. We were looking out for you guys on the last lap to see who was going to win that penalty war. as you said there. We were, I'll be honest, we were keeping an eye on you to begin with, and then when we saw you got your penalty, we switched to Thomas because you had 2 warnings, I think, Thomas, yeah, towards the second penalty. So we were trying to keep an eye to see if one of you would slip up again, but unfortunately it was you who couldn't quite keep it clean. But still, second place is a great result. But hopefully next time we'll see you on the top step.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, congratulations on P2. We'll see you next time, hopefully. Moving on to P1, Thomas. Again, if you want to answer in Dutch, go for it. But great comeback from P12 after the grid penalty to win the race on a 2-stop as well.
Ja, ik had een start. Ik wilde eigenlijk op de mini starten, maar ik stond net hoe heet dat? 10e. Daardoor moest ik met soft beginnen. Nou, dat was kloten. Dus ja, dan dacht ik al, dat gaat al worden, een kutrace. Dus ja, nee, het ging maar goed. Ronde 5 ging ik naar de mediums. Ging daardoor tot ronde 17 en daar ging ik vol gas. En ik was er shaken als erg.
Fair enough. Yeah, you did a great job. You really did. I mean, after lap 1, you were getting 6 places, I think it was. You were up to P6 after lap 2.
Yeah.
And just from there, it was almost a foregone conclusion. Once you came out of the pits where you did, behind those guys who would have been battling for that 3rd place, a podium was almost guaranteed. And then from there, just the overall pace won it for you. And I don't think there's much more we can say about it other than you had the pace today and you did a great job.
Yeah.
So, you were narrowly outvoted for driver of the day by KV because of his 2 brilliant overtakes. If you watch the video back, you'll see them. They're fantastic moves. Otherwise, you would have been in the prime position for it. So unlucky on that one. But congratulations on P1.
Thank you.
Is that your first win?
Yeah.
I thought it was. I didn't want to call it just in case I was wrong. No, congratulations, man. It's good. 2 winners, 2 new winners as well for the first 2 races.
Can I just say as well, just putting this out?
Go for it.
I think we're in for an absolute treat this season. I genuinely think that there's going to be 6, 7 drivers fighting for wins. And
I think you're right.
Championship this season. So I think the first 2 races kind of showed how close we all are as well during qualifying and obviously the race as well. So if you are watching the stream, make sure you tune in for Monday at 10 PM on Twitch on Contest of Speed and watch all of us in Tier 3 absolutely tear the house down for the rest of this season. And for that I'm out.
There you go, Danny, there's your job done.
You see, he's done the plug for me already. Well, yeah, all that's left for me to say is thank you all for joining me for the Minute Views. Well done on your individual races. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. And you didn't quite get all the plugs in. So you might have got next week's Tier 3 race in at Monza, which you can tune in for. But if you can't wait till then, we have the French Grand Prix for the European Tier 2 tomorrow night, Tier 1 on Wednesday, and the Americas Tier 1 on Thursday. But the only difference between the EU and the AM tiers are that the EUs are at 10 PM UK time, and the Americas is at 2 AM UK time, so 9 PM Eastern. But you can tune in for all of those if you want more Contest of Speed. If not, we will see you next week. Thank you all for watching. Good night.